Ernie Accorsi, he had so many great words to say about you when you were forced to retire in 2000 with knee problems. So talk about how that meant, what that meant to you to have Ernie Accorsi and Jim Fassel as well talk highly about you when you retired.
I think I owe a lot to Ernie Accorsi, just where I am today and giving me the opportunity to show him that I could transition from the NFL to the front office. He, he has meant so much to me. Not many people don't know this, but when I was a junior in college,
Hmm.
his son was a GA
Oh wow, okay.
for us, and he he came to one of our games against Maryland, and that just so happened to be one of actually my first game I ever rushed over 100 yards,
Okay.
and he just so happened to be with George Young, who was a GM at the time,
Yes, indeed.
and so they had me in their back of their minds um, from that day forth, and so when it was my turn and as later last pick in the sixth round and they were talking about me, they remembered that game, and that I think that was probably the deciding factor
Hmm.
to pick me at that point. But I owe a lot to Ernie. He has mentored me while he was with the Giants. He has actually made me the individual that I am today
Hmm.
in the professional realm, because he taught me how to be a professional. He
Hmm.
taught me what it took, what it takes to do the type of job that I needed to do to serve the players in the NFL and to serve them the way that Wellington Mara and Bob Tisch would have wanted me to serve them.
Speaking of that 1995 NFL draft, that was a draft that Steve McNair, the great quarterback for the Houston Oilers first and the Tennessee Titans, he was in that draft as well, and same age as well as you, 36 years old, and the tragic death of his tragic death on July 4th. Talk about how that really affected you.
I, I think knowing that you were in the same draft class as he was in, and knowing that you played with him and you played against him, uh, it makes you look at life in a new light, in a different perspective, because we aren't guaranteed tomorrow,
Hmm.
and so it makes us take another look at how we're living our lives each day, and I think in my position as director of player development with the Giants, it makes my job a little bit more critical now, seeing
Hmm.
that I have an influence on guys that I am with, that I'm trying to mentor now, and hopefully avoid some of the pitfalls or some of the decisions that we make that that may not be great and may have dire consequences. And so hopefully around the league, it brings to light that despite the fact that we may have an illustrious career, that we can't take every day for granted, and we have to make the most out of every day we're on this earth.
Hmm. That's for sure. That's for sure. And I want you to, if you can elaborate more on your position as director of player development, what are you truly emphasizing to the players right now?
I think the main thing is, especially with our rookies, because that's they're new and they're coming into an environment that is probably 100 times more magnified than where most of them have come from.
Hmm.
And so we try to get across to them is that, hey, A, this doesn't last forever,
Hmm.
and B, that while you're here, if you work hard and you put into it everything that you have,
Hmm.
that you can get whatever you want out of it. Just being in a market like New York City
Hmm.
gives you the opportunity that I think millions and millions of people would cherish,
Hmm.
to be in the position they're in, and to take advantage of the things that are presented to them, financially,
Hmm.
which coming into the league, most of them, even though it may not seem a lot to them to start off with, but most of their college graduates, alumni from their schools, would die to be a part of.
Yeah. Yeah.
So teaching them how to manage their money, first of all, then encouraging them to make the necessary uh, take on some of the networking opportunities that presents themselves when they go out to these different appearances. Create a network that can help them once they finish the game,
Hmm.
and also teaching them different life skills that they'll need to survive as an NFL player, so that they can stay focused on the field and do what they have to increase their opportunities once the game is over for them off the field. So we tried to take them through a number of classes that show them different situations that they may find themselves in and how to avoid the negative consequences of certain situations. So we try to give them certain skills and techniques to deal with life in general as an NFL player, as a professional athlete.